the market is sort of like appreciating clothes that people have taken time to make and clothes that are of quality. A lot of the clothes that I make are 100% cotton.
It's not about fast fashion, slow fashion. You build a collection of good quality and something different that you know you'll never want to get rid of.
This I know, I've got a merchant who I go to. He's from Mali. I negotiate with him strongly whenever I buy something, and we educate each other about the fabrics and things like that. So I really do try, to source local as much as I can.
Good things, man. Good things. Trendsetters SA, killing it soon, eh?
What's going on, everybody? It's my boy Mc Alpine here. I'm at African Fashion Week with Trendsetters Only Magazine, and I'm here with
Mashika, founder and creative director of Angalia Apparel.
So they just wrapped up their show right now, and we're going to ask them a few questions.
Okay.
Firstly, local fashion houses often draw their inspiration from international fashion houses.
Okay.
How does your brand actually differentiate themselves locally as an African fashion brand?
It's a good question. I think that my inspiration is basically drawn by, to be quite honest, making women just look beautiful. I don't know how to sometimes put it into words as to what I find beautiful, other people will find beautiful. But my main inspiration is genuinely women, making them feel confident, making them feel bold and powerful. When I started off this brand, initially, it was because I was frustrated by not finding clothes that I felt like were very deep-rooted in some kind of heritage, tradition, culture, and that felt authentic. Just felt like everything was just very beige, gray, and boring. So that's why I like African print so much, because it's so vibrant, so colorful. Yeah, and basically that's how I started.
Interesting. Tell me more about the material. Do you source them locally?
Yes, I do. So much so that there's an interview where I did and an article where I said sometimes customers will even see some of the fabric that is sourced and actually bring it and say, hey, can you please do this for me? And you kind of have to be like, hey, I'm not a tailor. We curate the designs, and we're a clothing brand. But yes, I source my material locally, I'm mainly inspired by prints that also sometimes feel like home. For example, shwe print. So I still want us to resonate with what we're wearing.
Okay. So currently, where do you see the state of African fashion heading to?
I think that there is a shift right now in the continent where you're seeing a lot of African consumers supporting local designers and actually really appreciating the work that it takes to locally produce. And I think they appreciate the quality, and they see and are able to now differentiate it from, in this case, clothes that are 5,000 units coming in a container, So I think that the market is sort of appreciating clothes that people have taken time to make and clothes that are of quality. A lot of the clothes that I make are 100% cotton. I believe in sort of having the most natural fabrics, because I feel like when you do have the most natural fabrics, you represent yourself differently, confidently, favorably.
Interesting. Okay, so there's this sort of misconception whereby we call African brands, but realistically, some of those African brands are registered internationally. They're just selling locally. So we can't really call them African brands.
Okay.
So do you consider your brand an African brand? Is it
100%
locally?
Registered locally, made locally. We have a small CMT that I have had now for the past 7 years. So I locally produce my clothes from start to finish.
That's interesting. Okay, so to wrap it up, one piece of advice that you have for the next generation of designers?
If you have a dream, don't give up. Regardless of what anybody says, regardless of what time says, regardless of what you might even feel in that moment. Give yourself patience and time, and just keep trying.
Lovely. Thank you for your time.
Thank
Hope
you.
to see more amazing designs in the future.
Right.
Next time, please invite me personally to your show.
Oh, I will. Thank you
Please.
so much.
Thank you for your time again. Hello, everybody. This is Mc Alpine. I'm here with Trendsetters Magazine at Africa Fashion Week, and we are here with.
Marguerite Mc Alpine, and my brand is Mc Alpine Clothing.
They just finished their showcase now, and we're going to be asking them a few questions. So, Marguerite, what conversations are influencing this collection of yours?
So with my whole brand, it's something that must be in your closet for the rest of your life. My stuff is trans-seasonal. You'll never pack it away for winter or pack it away for summer. You'll always be wearing it. And I want my stuff to be something that makes you do a happy dance when you wear it. So it's not about fast fashion, slow fashion. You build a collection of good quality and something different that you know you'll never want to get rid of.
Interesting. You should tell me about the materials. Are you outsourcing them out of the country or locally?
So the wholesalers that we use, they bring the fabrics from overseas.
Okay.
But I've now transitioned to Taslon fabric. It's a athleisure wear active fabric. So it's moisture wicking, quick drying, no ironing. And if you think about the longevity of it, because it is a synthetic, this fabric will last a lifetime in your closet. It won't fall holes in, it won't wash out. So if you buy an outfit from me, you know the quality is going to stay like that 10, 20, 30 years down the line.
That's interesting. So there's always this misconception with African brands, whereby we call them African brands, but in the registry, they're not really registered here on the African continent.
Yes.
So would you regard your brand as an African brand?
Absolutely, because we are all about color, we are all about fun, we are all about not conforming to what everyone else is doing. And South Africans just have a different flair for dressing.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I absolutely consider myself an African designer.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, last question. Is there any piece of advice you'd like to give to the next young designer who wants to showcase at a place like this or at a show like this?
So what I would say is work hard, never give up. This industry, a lot of people will be saying no to you. Don't listen to them. Just keep on doing your thing. If you think what you're doing is weird or you're not fitting in, you do not want to fit in and you do want to be weird, because that's what gets you out there, and just keep going.
So be weird, folks. Be weird. Thank you so much, Marguerite.
Thank you so much.
We are here at African Fashion Week with.
Kiabethu Mokhatusi of Silk and Cotton.
Pleasure to meet you, Kiabethu. How was it showcasing at African Fashion Week?
It was hectic and incredible and beautiful. This was my very first showcase, so I took a plunge in so many ways. And it's almost assumed that, oh, you've done this or whatever, like just this is how it goes. So especially tonight, I had to learn things on the go, but it was good. It was good.
Tell me one thing that you learned tonight.
Oh my gosh. You can never be too prepared.
Never be too prepared.
Yeah, never be too prepared, but also go with the flow.
Okay.
Go with the flow. Yeah, be creative, go with the flow. You can never be too prepared, but when life happens, just go with the flow.
Interesting, interesting.
Yeah.
So I want to know the sort of inspiration behind this collection.
Oh, particularly behind this collection, the piece of clothing that inspired it was my Technicolor Dream coat that we started with, the Kenta coat. And I mean, the theme is Afrofuturism. So I used a lot of textiles from different parts of the continent in conjunction with some of our locally handmade textiles. Like in one of the jackets that were in the piece that are similar to mine, this is Bogolan Fini from Mali.
Okay.
And in one of the jackets we used a blend of hemp and cotton, and that was made here, locally made here. And then we had some pieces that were handcrafted, that were Kente pieces. So it was like going back, like, you hear a lot about fast fashion and kind of what's going on in the world, but it was, for me, this was a going back to where we come from, to handcrafted textiles, to bespokely made clothing, where a lot of people have handled your clothes when they've handled it with with love,
With
you
love
know.
and care,
It was, yeah. It was a little bit like that. And mixing the different fabrics from the different African countries was kind of, my also dream of, one day we will collaborate
Absolutely.
a lot more.
That's actually very interesting. Is all your material sourced locally?
When by locally you mean Africa?
African
Yes, I
continent,
try
yes.
to. Every now and again, you do need to get something like maybe your lining or like a silk, from somewhere else. But really, most of the time, I try to source as locally as I possibly can. It is a bit tricky sometimes trying to figure out where everything is from. But I mean, this I know. I've got a merchant who I go to. He's from Mali. I negotiate with him strongly whenever I buy something, and we educate each other about the fabrics and things like that. So I really do try, to source
interesting.
local as much as I can.
Okay, that's interesting. So there's always this misconception where we call African brands, whereby they might not be registered on the African continent. For example, a brand registered in London, but we call it an African brand, whereas it's not necessarily an African brand. So would you consider your brand an African brand?
Oh, 100%. Well, it's registered here in SA. And as I said, I try to source locally as much as I possibly can. We're pushing at 80%, but sometimes it falls to about 70% of our sourcing locally, but 101%. And I'm really about even small merchants or like local mills or, like even getting knitted cotton from some of the mills down in Cape Town. For me, that's really, it's important. It's also like just using what we have and making it beautiful and elevating it. Yeah.
I love that concept. Okay, one piece of advice for the next generation of African designers?
Well, I feel like I'm an emerging designer still, but there's so many local designers showcasing at Africa Fashion Week. It is incredible how different we all are. Really, I'm just shocked at how different everyone is. And so I would say follow what you like. Follow what your flow is, what attracts you. Don't fall into the trap of trying to simulate or be like someone else. Really, follow what you like, and you'll find your voice. Even with the clothing, you'll find your thing. This is my thing. I love textiles. I love fabrics. So the textiles are my thing.
Okay. Follow what you like. That's the advice they gave us.
Follow your bliss, Go with it. Trust it. Don't worry about who's going to like it or whatnot. You'll be very surprised. You'll be very, very surprised.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I loved the collection, actually.
Thank you. Thank you.